Welcome, everyone, to Morgan Stanley. I am Megan, Head of Strategy, Market Innovation, and Labs here within Firm-Wide Innovation Division. Aligned to both firm strategy and technology, the Firm-Wide Innovation Division partners across our business and infrastructure teams to deliver against their innovation priorities. We have 4 core shared objectives. 1, identifying and assessing the disruption trends and disruptors to our industry. The second is really around driving new capabilities and opportunities for the firm. We enhance client engagement, and we always seek to strengthen our infrastructure and drive operating efficiencies. Morgan Stanley recognizes that innovation is a team sport, and with that, we've engaged with large strategics, market innovators, VCs, for over 25 years through our tech business development function. We've been bringing in market-leading capabilities that have been great for our firm, our businesses, and our clients. We've also invested in accelerating the time to decision through global initiatives like our Global Innovation Labs, which are actually headquartered in this building. We have over 20,000 square feet dedicated to support the acceleration of firm-wide R&D, experimentation, and technical due diligence to support both our business and technology teams in their modernization and innovation projects. We value a healthy FinTech ecosystem, and we lean in to support the next generation of innovators through a number of initiatives. The first being our strategic investments team, who have been partnering with VCs and accelerators like the New York FinTech Innovation Labs to identify both commercial and investment opportunities. In fact, they've made strategic investments in 2 New York FinTech Innovation Lab companies before. Since 2017, we aim to promote financial inclusion and provide access to capital for underrepresented founders of tech and tech-enabled companies. It all started with our Inclusive Ventures Lab, our in-house startup accelerator focused on access to capital for early-stage companies. We also run a Diverse Founders Initiative, which identifies enterprise-ready technology companies that we can embed into our firm's tech ecosystem. And last but not least, our Next Level Fund. It's an early-stage venture fund that invests through Series C. We are a very proud partner of the FinTech Innovation Labs, providing both mentorship and support since its inception 14 years ago here in New York. This year's AI-focused cohort, selected by financial institutions from over 280 applications, addresses pressing financial industry needs like cybersecurity, fraud prevention, and using data and analytics to enhance our customer experience and business outcomes. Over the last 12 weeks, over 40 financial institutions have been mentoring these 9 startups, and we are so proud to see them all here today. With that, we are very honored to host this year's Demo Day with the Partnership Fund for New York, Citi, and Accenture. And I'd like to showcase the FinTech Innovation Lab of 2024. Programs and events like today demonstrate that our industry truly recognizes the importance of staying on the leading edge of innovation and building relationships early with market innovators. With this, I'd like to hand it off to Steve Murphy, the executive sponsor of the FinTech Innovation Lab from Accenture.
Great to see everybody. Thank you, Megan, Zena, and everyone at Morgan Stanley for hosting in this iconic Wall Street location. Morgan Stanley's been a key player in the lab since the inception, and it's great to be here today. So I'm Steve Murphy, Accenture's Industry Solutions Lead for Financial Services and executive sponsor of the FinTech Innovation Lab. This is a truly unique and special program, and this is why. I want to recognize the FinTech Innovation Lab family. We have entrepreneurs in residence, executives in residence, VCs, financial institutions. I mean, if you just look at this list, the names and the brands here give you a sense of the depth and the impact that can come out of the lab. And the lab would not be a success without all of you. I see a lot of you here today, and thank you. And of course, the stars of the show today, the entrepreneurs in the 2024 class, who you'll meet this morning. As a bit of a warm-up, and especially for those of you who aren't yet familiar with the lab, we pulled a few numbers. So today marks the 14th demo day for the FinTech Innovation Lab, 14 years of identifying and sponsoring innovators who are solving the trickiest and most complicated challenges of our industry. And as of today, we will grow the alumni of the lab to 118. It's a really impressive group, which has collectively raised over $2.6 billion in capital, 3,000 jobs created, And I'm always amazed when I look at the next two numbers, which are 83% of that family is still in business, 30 have been successfully acquired. So an incredible success rate relative to the VC, FinTech, startup industry. As Megan mentioned, the program is always extremely competitive. This year we had an increase of 30% in applications, over 280, and you'll meet the startups that bubbled to the top of that list this morning. And finally, our favorite number one, which is where New York City sits in the league table for FinTech startups. You can see the list there, but I think we can all take some pride in that, but in particular, the person I'm going to introduce next has been aptly called the architect of FinTech in New York City. And I'll add that she's a fantastic partner in running the lab. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the co-founder of the FinTech Innovation Lab and the CEO of the Partnership Fund for New York City, Maria Gotch.
All right, who doesn't love that last chart? Oh my gosh, that's my favorite one. Anyway, good morning and welcome. Megan, a big thanks to you, Sean Manahan, Zena Gauss, and all your colleagues at Morgan Stanley for hosting us this morning. You guys have been terrific partners from the beginning, the early days of the lab as we were putting it together, and we really appreciate all your support. So for the last 8 years, we have been taking the FinTech Lab cohort to meet the agencies in DC and Albany that regulate our financial markets. And we do that because we think it's important that the cohort understand why they are required to do certain things for their customers who are regulated, but also so that the regulators get visibility and insight into some of the new innovative technologies that are coming into financial services, and particularly right now because of all the focus on AI. And during every one of these discussions, there has been a light bulb moment when one of the CEOs has said, aha, now I understand. And at some level, that is what the FinTech Innovation Lab is all about, is light bulbs going off, both for the entrepreneurs and also at our financial institution partners. Because it's about understanding how one's technology solves an actual problem. What is the business case to justify a purchase order, which is what every entrepreneur at the end of the day wants? How to integrate one's product into a very complicated technology stack, which is at every one of those institutions that Steve had up on that slide. And for our institution partners, it's about finding new ways to engage their customers and to run their operations more efficiently. And all of this works because of so many of you in this room who've given their time, their expertise. You take meetings on an expedited basis. You provide substantive feedback. And many of you continue to work with and support the alums long after the 3 months of the program. As we say, the FinTech Lab has a very long tail. So I want to thank everybody in this room who's given so generously of their time and expertise to really help this class understand what the real problems that they're solving and how they can be a solution. And in particular, I'd like to acknowledge Jim Robinson III of RE Ventures, who passed away earlier this year. He was an early supporter of the FinTech Lab and of me personally, and he provided countless hours of advice and counsel, drawn from an extraordinary range of experiences. So many of the alums benefited from spending time with him and his very wise counsel, and he will be missed. And he would have loved this class, both the focus on artificial intelligence and the wide range of applications, from fine art and financial services to individuals, to detecting the bad actors and putting in place the guardrails that we are all going to need around AI in order to bring this very interesting technology into financial services. So the companies in this year's cohort already have 26 pilots underway or in discussion. And we think that after hearing their pitches this morning, you're going to want to meet them and their talented management teams. And so now let's go on to the main event. We're going to kick things off with Ben Coleman of Reality Defender, he will be introduced by Zena Gauss from our host, Morgan Stanley. Zena.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zena Gauss. I sit within Morgan Stanley's firm-wide innovation team, and we are thrilled to introduce our mentee, Reality Defender. So I remember the first time I saw a deep fake. It was Keanu Reeves doing The Hustle, and it was amazing to my eyes. But today, our newsfeed is filled with new and potentially very harmful uses for this type of technology. Hyper-realistic AI-generated content is now a turnkey weapon for scalable fraud. How can we be ready for this wave? Enter Reality Defender. Reality Defender's technology helps detect AI generation and manipulation in audio, video, images, and text. And what that means for folks in this room is that we get to protect ourselves and our clients in very important interactions. Our team has worked very closely with Reality Defender, and their deep industry knowledge and expertise has impressed all of our teams. And don't just take it from us. In May, at the most prominent cybersecurity conference, RSA, Reality Defender was awarded the highly coveted and competitive Innovation Sandbox Award. And Ben, who you'll hear from shortly, gave testimony to Congress in April, delivering a very compelling review of some of the challenges we may be facing in the election coming up. And so as our firm continues to review Reality Defender for our own adoption, we are pleased and thrilled to welcome their CEO and co-founder, Ben Coleman, to showcase their work.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Coleman, co-founder and CEO of Reality Defender. We are enterprise deepfake detection, working with many of the banks and asset management groups in this room today. And so as we think about deepfakes, the number one use case for deepfakes today is different kinds of financial fraud and identity fraud. And instead of educating you, I'm here to scare you just a little bit to think about where this issue is now and where it's going. Today, anyone can do fraud on demand. There's over 100,000 tools available online, just a Google search away or on your iPhone or Android app store that allow you to deepfake someone's face, someone's voice, without their permission and with maybe 5 to 10 seconds of audio. You could put them in an entertaining video with your favorite movie star. You could put them in a very compromising position, so limited by your imaginations. Now, some stats. Deepfakes are going to cost the US over $1 trillion this year. Banks, specifically, are facing a 700% increase in deepfakes. Just in the last year alone, we expect a multiple this year. Now, consumers, the least protected group, are facing over 1,700% increase in deepfakes. Everything from financial fraud to non-consensual AI-generated pornography to misinformation ahead of a big election. Now, the biggest vector currently for financial fraud is with the voice. With less than 10 seconds of audio, you can deepfake anyone in this room and get past any voice authentication platform. So the phrase, "your voice is your password," does not work anymore. Now, with solutions like Reality Defender, we're focusing on identifying only whether the voice is real or fake without touching any PII, allowing us to deploy anywhere on a client's cloud, on-prem, or within our cloud hosted as a dedicated instance or multi-tenant solution. Number one use case here is call center voice fraud. Now, banks, when they get a wire transfer request, they want to call you, see if you're really who you say you are. It doesn't matter if you know your birthday, your name, your social. It could be a fake voice. Now, our solution uses AI to detect AI. We have over a dozen patents, white papers, most of them peer-reviewed. We were at NeurIPS last week in Seattle. And what we're doing is building in-house tools that do different kinds of feature extraction, indicating specific probabilistic likelihoods of different generation techniques. Now, our challenge is that our users might be a mid-level risk analyst or cybersecurity professional. They don't want to get raw data from AI. They want actionable results. So as you see on the screen, we have a web app. You can simply drag and drop images, video, audio, or text, but also connect real-time audio, get color-coded results, bounding boxes on the face, and get every single face or voice independently scored in a way that you can make a decision quickly to block or flag a user or an action. Now, it's not just real-time audio. We're also state-of-the-art in terms of video, images, and text. Use cases across the board, obviously identity fraud, but also things like text where you're trying to see whether your junior employees might be leaking firm data into ChatGPT to write their emails or to put data into a presentation. I don't think that's happening today, but we can test for it. Now, research is in our DNA, and it's not just good enough to say we're in the high 90s in terms of accuracy, precision recall. The metrics speak for themselves. I use an example of one of the tier 1 top 5 banks that's in this room today. We recently launched our latest version of our real-time audio detector for call centers across English, Spanish and Portuguese. Now we're adding Cantonese, Mandarin, about 12 other languages. They have a less than 1% false positive, meaning that we're over 99% accurate on their own tests themselves. Now, within all the modalities, our natural first step is voice fraud. We're directly able to connect within any call center platform to our API or their API, pulling the audio stream directly from the SIP rec in real time. So even if the platform sees your birthday, your face, your voice, all matching perfectly, if we say the voice is AI generated, it doesn't matter. You might actually save money on those API calls because you already know that whoever or whatever is doing the fraud is fake. Now, similarly with enterprise executive reputation protection and brand safety, clients using us to identify different social media posts about their leadership, maybe claiming to get us involved in a crypto opportunity, or perhaps something ahead of an earnings announcement, which we can detect in real time. Now, our team of 34 is 2/3 PhD researchers and engineers. Because of that, we're bleeding edge across all research in the space, much of which we publish. We're excited for the opportunity to support your teams, and we look forward to following up. My name is Ben Coleman. Thank you.
I have the privilege of representing all the mentors that spent time with Muse over these last few months in the FinTech Innovation Lab. One of my pet peeves about certainly consumer banking is that we like to talk about how customer obsessed we are, but is the word customer used in every conversation at the bank, from the center of IT all the way to the product people to the customer service people? I think what Muse is doing puts the customer front and center in a very unique way, and has certainly caught the attention of Ally, the leading digital bank in the US. We've seen a proliferation of these value-add APIs on the consumer side that are informing financial wellness, providing open banking, and trying to make a better customer experience. And we've seen a couple of folks actually come out with tax prep APIs, very strong teams. What Muse is doing is completely different, unique, defensible, and I think you'll really enjoy meeting this team and learning more. I think Colin's going to do an awesome job describing that. I encourage you all to meet with Colin and Baseo later. I encourage you to challenge them. You will find that this is a team that's going to do what it takes to make this company work. And they've got a lot of very exciting updates that are going to come out in the next few months that even I'm looking forward to hearing what they are. So without further ado, Colin, come on up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Colin Horsford, the co-founder and CEO of Muse. I'm here to talk about everyone's favorite topic, taxes. So with Muse, we've built an intelligent financial analytics engine built by tax pros. But first, we do not do tax returns, tax preparation, or give any tax advice. What we actually do is we do help financial institutions and banks grow deposits, increase engagement, and build wealth for their customers. And the reason we do that is the era of easy deposits at financial institutions and Main Street banks is over. Gone are the days where customers will keep their money at your institution earning very low interest. Now they're actually looking for higher interest payoffs and higher yields and also different financial products. But they want help. 83% of individuals in this country are asking for help to improve their financial outcomes. Why? Because 78% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. Now you may think, well, they may not necessarily be making a lot of money. Well, over 52% of the individuals in this country who make over $140,000 are living paycheck to paycheck, which means many of you or some of the clients at your institutions probably do live paycheck to paycheck. What does that look like? Well, they may be making a lot of money, but they have 2 children, a spouse, live in a high-cost city, and also have 1 to 2 cars and struggling to make it. But at the same time, they're overpaying their taxes to the tune of $366 billion. So that goes to show that they're making financial decisions without correctly considering the tax considerations that come from that. And that's why we at Muse built these 3 products to meet customers' needs. The 3 products are Muse Check Boost, Compass, and the Muse Score. So ultimately what we do is we work with financial institutions as a B2B to C product, so we can actually offer a full integration or an off-core platform so we can help and show customers what happens, what they can do about it, and help them do it. So the first is Muse Check Boost, our flagship product. And what we do is we go in and we work with some of the largest financial institutions and also payroll providers, and we help individuals boost their paycheck and their take-home pay by optimizing their tax deductions on their payroll. So with this boosted pay, they can do things like save more, thereby boosting deposits at banks and interest income. They can also pay down debt, thereby lowering default rates, and also invest as well. But ultimately, what they're doing is reducing financial stress. And we've actually coined and trademarked the term early refund access. Now, many of you have probably heard of early wage access or other types of payday loans and other things. This is not payday loans. This is not a credit facility at all. With early refund access, we're actually giving them access to their money earlier so they can do things that can improve their financial outcomes. Next, we have Muse Compass, which is our financial analytics tool driven by AI. And what we do is we augment advisors' abilities at financial institutions so that whenever they're working with their customers or their clients, they can now put together the right financial product mix for them so that they can improve their financial outcomes. And lastly, we have the Muse Score, which is our ability to generate a lot of actionable insights and improvements based off of the mounds of data that we have and we collect, because we collect tax returns, which is the most comprehensive financial document out there, and also allow individuals to connect any of their financial accounts to our platform. Now, who's bringing this to you? Well, we have a wealth of information, over 50 years of banking, financial, and tax information. I myself am a CPA. I have a degree in statistics and quantitative finance. I previously worked at Goldman, and I also was on the Intuit Tax Council, helping them improve TurboTax, and also ProConnect, which is basically TurboTax, but for tax providers. Then my co-founder, Busayo, he's also a CPA. He has his master's in taxation, and 8 years ago, he created an AI tax chatbot long before GPT or any of the other transformers were out. And then there's Neil Mitchell, our VP of Engineering from Valley Bank, and our recent hire, Sam Larson, our ML team lead from Klarna. So again, you see that we have a great team to bring this product to you. We already work with 4 leading institutions in the country and have 3 contracts ready to go within the next couple of weeks, which is what Jesse alluded to. So ultimately what we're doing is we're boosting bank deposits. We're providing tax-efficient financial insights for financial institutions and giving them access to hyper-personalized leads. So we'd love to talk to any one of you who would like to improve the financial lives of your customers, and also looking to talk to some investors as well as we go out to raise towards the end of the year or early next year. So let me just leave you with one thing. We've all heard the saying, there are only 2 things certain, death and taxes. Well, as a CPA, I like to say, only 2 things are certain, death and taxes, and both times you still have to call your accountant. So call Muse. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Karen Wang, and I am an investor at Deutsche Bank Ventures. Thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate the culmination of this year's FinTech Innovation Lab program. Additionally, thank you to the Partnership Fund of New York City and Accenture for building this community for the startup ecosystem. I had the delight to work with Travis Stanfield from Stacklet. Stacklet founders Travis and Kapil had worked at Capital One to build the cloud custodian so developers could have the freedom to use cloud-native tools. In 2020, they left Capital One and built Stacklet. So what does Stacklet do? Stacklet provides cloud governance solutions, helping organizations manage and enforce compliance, security, and cost optimization policies across their cloud infrastructure. Cloud is expensive. Stacklet helps optimize cloud spending by showing you an inventory of all your cloud resources and real-time configurations. They also help enforce governance policies across their cloud environments. Please help me welcome Travis Stanfield, CEO of Stacklet, to the stage.
Thank you, Karen, and thanks to everyone who helped put on the FinTech Innovation Lab. This was absolutely wonderful. I am Travis Stanfield, the CEO and co-founder of Stacklet. The amount of public cloud overspend is grotesque. This is a $224 billion problem today, and it's going to be a third of $1 trillion problem by the end of the decade. According to Forrester, 94% of all companies are overspending in the public cloud. And I think 6% of those survey respondents are lying. This is a problem that impacts all of us. Stacklet's going to cut your cloud bill in half, and for an encore, we're going to reduce your security and compliance risks. A lot of organizations took what I like to refer to as 1.0 practices when adopting public cloud. They did lift and shift. They tried to recreate the data center. They didn't prioritize governance or take a controls-first approach to the challenge. What we're going to help you do is baseline where you may have accumulated technical debt on your journey to the public cloud thus far. And what we're best in the world at is helping your organization communicate, take action to reduce that technical debt, and prevent it from ever coming back. This is very differentiated from what we see in the marketplace today. Often what we find are solutions that at best help you admire the problem, like a tax advisor that's only telling you how much you could have saved, or a security guard that's only telling you that you're being robbed, or perhaps a cloud-native solution that isn't open source or going to help you as you scale out to multiple clouds. We are the core and creative team behind an open source project called Cloud Custodian. My co-founder and I come from Capital One, and Cloud Custodian is what enabled a top 10 US financial institution to get 100% into the public cloud, inclusive of its high regulatory and cost control standards. The open source project is now the de facto open standard that is used broadly by several different financial services entities, as well as other regulated verticals. On the commercial side, we've had tremendous adoption from very recognizable enterprises, and the results that we've been able to get them have been astounding. In addition to cutting their cloud bill in half, we've reduced their manual practices and cut their reporting time by as much as 80%. We've taken them from remediation that used to take them months to perhaps a matter of days or perhaps even real time. And as you see from one of our customers, we've given as much as a 500% return on investment. In the FinOps domain, we focus on optimizing your cloud infrastructure usage. This contrasts a bit with, let's say, rate optimization. We're going to help you clean up the waste, prevent it from coming back, manage unused and underutilized resources, automate upgrades, backups, and more. You're going to start saving in as little as 90 days, and we're going to lock in those gains so that they never go back to the inefficiencies. In the security and compliance space, we're going to get you continuously complied to your benchmarks like CIS, NIST, PCI DSS, and all the power under the hood to bring your custom control framework if your organization happens to have one. You're going to be able to enforce your golden omnis, encryption at rest, your IAM best practices, and control your network reachability so that private things stay private, and many, many more. Great compliance is the output of great security, and we're going to get you there not just at a point in time when the auditor shows up, but in perpetuity. We also do cloud asset management, right? This is a real-time and time series understanding of the cloud that you have, and we give you a select star from Cloud Experience. We're also going to help you lock in your tagging standard. This is somewhat esoteric, but trying to govern cloud at scale without getting your tags right is like trying to run Walmart without barcodes. You're not going to be able to hit your objectives because you're going to end up with a sea of things that you don't understand and will deem as risky. The best news is it's very easy to use. We're lightweight and agentless. All we need are a bit of data around your cloud bill, some read-only or least privileged permissions, and an event stream. And that's it. We're up and running in a single call, as much as 90 minutes. You're going to get initial value demonstration in a couple of days. And then, as mentioned, we're going to lock in those gains over the course of a 90-day onboarding journey. From there, we are going to be publicly in the exhibit. Would love to meet folks more. In terms of fundraising, we recently raised our Series B, but would love to build relationships with the investors in the audience because we could be, given our traction, looking to raise again next year. Thank you very much.
Illiquid markets. Very tough to manage and keep track of. Articles appear weekly about private credit, and its valuation challenges. So can you imagine how difficult it is for the luxury art market and whiskey and classic cars? That's why Sharon Abobi, fresh from Sotheby's, decided to make it easier for asset managers, wealth managers, and insurance firms. She created the Bloomberg of luxury assets, alt finance. Now they'll have real-time insights by effortlessly interacting with the data. With over 100 paying customers, she is well on her way to getting more control in these crazy markets. It's my pleasure to introduce Sharon now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Neil. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sharon, founder and CEO of Alt Finance. In a world where data is at the heart of effective investment management, Alt Finance bridges the gap, covering alternative assets for these categories. We track the trading of these assets with pricing, risk, and returns on assets like fine arts, luxury watches, vintage wine, across a 3 trillion market of assets that have been owned. Think of it as a Bloomberg for luxury real assets. Before building Alt Finance, I worked at Sotheby's, previously with 10 years of experience in the market. And as you can see here, bidding on the phone, spending money for clients, one of the frequently asked questions I would get for clients and from colleagues in finance was, what is this worth? What is this painting worth? What is this sculpture worth? What about classic cars? I've got a friend that's got a Banksy. Can you tell me about it? And after getting this question enough times, I thought there must be a way to address this problem. And so we decided to create a solution to address this. Alt Finance creates a similar experience to how you would look through data sets or data on alternative assets, but with the experience of Bloomberg. So you're able to filter across multiple areas like regions, vendors, markets to get insights that are instantly calculated in a visual calculator experience within your dashboard. Without Alt Finance, we know that our users or our target audience are addressing this problem without any kind of dedicated solutions, whether it comes to collecting, trading, insuring, or governing these assets. And this affects the entire value chain from wealth management to lending to advisory to insurance. And through the FinTech Innovation Lab, we've had the opportunity to work very closely with 5 major institutions, and we've identified 4 main use cases across balance sheet consolidation, being able to track the asset and what it's worth and monitor that on an ongoing basis, trust and estate planning, family office management, advisory, and tailored lending. And I'm so excited to share that we actually have lined up 2 pilots that are going to be starting at the end of the program. Behind the visuals that you see in the dashboard and the API data feeds, the magic is in how we extract, gather the data, clean, and transform it to deliver it to the user. And so we actually map out the provenance of items across over 55,000 institutions globally to identify how institutions and previous owners affect the value of an asset. In addition, before any asset can be approved or published, it must go through and pass over 2,000 data checks for it to be quality data that can be used. With better data, users can now access insights to impact better interest returns, whether you're offering services for collateralized lending or increase investment returns on these assets because you actually know how it's been trading overall and you have the insights to make more informed decisions. We also support being able to understand and value these assets for more accurate valuations on your balance sheets. Alt Finance helps you to access the insights to complete the picture. So you think of it like a jigsaw puzzle where your investment portfolio is made of different pieces. We complete the picture with the alternative assets so you can understand how this fits into the complete picture. That means that you're able to get better valuations for your insurance, for your asset management, and wealth management services. Our vision is similar to how Bloomberg transformed the traditional markets in the 1980s. So similar to how Bloomberg changed how we think about data, monitoring the markets, and analyzing it, we do the same covering alternative assets. And our vision is to do this across multiple stages, across these different categories. On our team, we have expertise in valuations, in technology, in wealth management, and together we bring this together to deliver Alt Finance. If you'd like to experience the data that we offer and to try it out, we invite you to do so. We're offering a 7-day free trial where you can actually try it out with FIL NYC, and we look forward to talking to you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Joel Schneider, and I'm part of our strategy and transformation team at CNA Insurance. We've been part of the FinTech Innovation Lab for the past 2 years, and this year we have the pleasure of working with Cumis. Their story began much like many innovators, not by looking for a problem or trying to start a company, but by experiencing firsthand the way businesses are transacting work today and developing a vision on how technology can change that. Dan Schulman started his career as an attorney, spent his time evaluating complaints and claims and reading insurance policies. He did this to evaluate coverage based on the terms and the conditions of the policy and the circumstances of the claims. This work requires legal knowledge, insurance domain expertise, and the ability to consume and comprehend unstructured information to compare and contrast the events within it. Over time, Dan realized that this process is at some level repetitive, but more than anything, time-consuming and prone to human error. And at the same time, his co-founder, Shiv Sinha, was leading app development at Goldman Sachs and delivering digital banking solutions. Together, Dan and Shiv founded Cumis in 2020. And with Dan's business domain and legal expertise and Shiv's technical expertise, they have leveraged the advancements in artificial intelligence and large language models to truly transform how this work is done today. And I'll tell you, seeing it is believing. I think it's really a product that once you see how it works, it really starts to put together the pieces on the power within these tools. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce Dan Schulman.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Joel, for the introduction. My name is Dan Schulman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cumis. I began my career practicing law, advising large global insurance companies on their most complex claims and risks. Through this experience, I learned that there's actually a very wide universe of knowledge work for insurance policies. Claims professionals are reading complex policies and analyzing them against a set of facts. Brokers are comparing multiple policies against each other and comparing different quotes. Product teams at carriers are analyzing and benchmarking different languages and different policies. All of these processes right now are very manual and very reliant on the individual expertise of the professionals doing these tasks. That's led to really rising costs in this domain, particularly in claims. You can see here that in claims adjusting, US P&C carriers spend over $35 billion a year in just adjusting the claims. And those claims are rising significantly faster than inflation, leading to really, really unsustainable trends that are really a big problem for the industry. I had an aha moment with my legal career that actually the insurance professionals that I knew read and interpret contracts every day. The insurance policy is actually a legal contract, and insurance professionals need a license to do this job, just like lawyers who are reading and interpreting contracts every day and need a license to do that job. The difference is lawyers have a giant ecosystem of tools and platforms to help them do their tasks, but insurance professionals have nothing. Generally, insurtech innovation also follows the different aspects of the policy lifecycle. So similar to the tools that lawyers have that help them read and interpret contracts, we are really the first platform to really target the coverage knowledge work. Any insurance professional who's reading and interpreting an insurance policy in their day-to-day job can have that task expedited and more accurately done through our platform at Cumis. Our coverage-focused AI is extremely accurate, and it saves insurance professionals hours every day in their day-to-day tasks by giving them a personal law clerk. We're able to approximate the services that lawyers and law firms provide to insurance professionals in this space with a really intuitive, frictionless solution that drops into their workflows, that lets folks analyze policies, compare coverages, and we've built tools for brokers, claims professionals, and risk managers. That's part of our vision to go on and build the general knowledge ecosystem for insurance. We're starting with our AI tools that we've built and are building today and are being deployed. That's going to lay the groundwork for collaboration tools so that when legal is involved, because legal will always need to be involved, and when other experts are involved, that will happen on our platform. We also plan to provide expert services through our platform as well. So if those consultants do need to be involved, then they can happen right through our platform. And then we're accessing additional knowledge sets and data. we're building a proprietary database of court records that our clients can use to benchmark and have an additional data set beyond just the documents they have on their platform. As Joel mentioned, I started my career practicing law in this space. My co-founder Shiv led the development of the Marcus product at Goldman Sachs, and we're really excited to be building this innovation here. And as Joel mentioned, our demo really is a showstopper. It's really understandable. It's a quick demo, so please scan the QR code. Feel free to book a meeting, and I look forward to meeting you all and seeing you in the demo room. Thank you very much.
I think all of us heard a lot of time generative AI today, right? So thanks for Maria and the Accenture team for putting together a wonderful class for this year. I'm Anindya Sangupta, Strategic Initiative VP at Prudential. We have been a partner of the FinTech Innovation Lab for the last 4 years, and it's been a fantastic partnership. We have had so many light bulb moments that, Maria mentioned, when we have discussions with the startups, there's something that clicks. Just going back to generative AI, we all use Gen AI on our phones every day. I use it for planning for my daughter's Sweet 16 or for planning for an itinerary. But why that option has not kicked off in a large regulatory industry? Because there are 3 risks: hallucination risk, privacy risks, and compliance risk. And that's where Dynamo AI comes in. Vaik and Christian, I'm not sure if Vaik is in the room, but Christian is here. So they founded Dynamo AI when they were machine learning PhDs at MIT and Harvard, out of a sheer passion that they have to find something, a solution for this AI and machine learning models. They were motivated to launch the company by a shared desire to address the critical data security needs in AI models. Dynamo has worked on to productionalize some of the largest scale deployments of Gen AI across highly regulated industries like insurance and financial services. Dynamo also spends a lot of time with the regulators. I've seen your LinkedIn posts. They've spent time with 70 plus regulators and the standard setting agencies like CFPB, the Fed, NIST, and CISA. And we had one light bulb moment that I'll have Christian share towards the end of his presentation. I think stay tuned for that part. I'm not stealing the show. But with that, let's welcome Christian from Dynamo.
Thank you. So, hi everyone, my name's Christian. I lead product at Dynamo. I'm also one of the co-founders of the company. A little bit of background about our company before I dive in. So we were founded as a group of machine learning PhDs and privacy experts from MIT and Harvard, really for the last 8 years studying what are the big risks with bringing AI into the real world. We've raised $19.3 million to date. We're a team of 45, and our last round was actually backed by Canopy Ventures, really a consortium of 40 of the top 100 US financial institutions. And so our main prerogative as a company is how can we enable these highly regulated enterprises to stand up generative AI while also addressing emerging regulatory guidance and demands here. We've had the unique opportunity to work with some of the largest enterprises to date, from Qualcomm and Lenovo in the technology sector, so we're going to be embedded into ThinkPad laptops in the enterprise through Lenovo, securing the AI-enabled applications on those devices. We also work with highly regulated enterprises like Experian, the credit bureau, as well as major US financial institutions and asset managers, where they're leveraging all 3 of the products I'll show you today to secure their underlying enterprise data and prepare themselves for compliance. Usually enterprises come to Dynamo once they stood up either their initial POC around generative AI, or they're bringing in these third-party vendor solutions like Microsoft 365 Copilot or ChatGPT Enterprise, and they now want to layer compliance into this and really productionize it for a large number of end users. And this first starts with, on the left-hand side, streamlined red teaming here with Dynamo Eval, where we're there to go and identify the vulnerabilities and stress test the systems for data leakage, security issues, as well as hallucinations. We then have Dynamo Enhance, which is a path forward for the enterprise to remediate those vulnerabilities. And finally, as you're ready to productionize your generative AI applications, we have Dynamo Guard, which is a series of customizable guardrails you can layer on top of your enterprise AI applications. Here's a case study example of what I mean by, for example, AI red teaming and Dynamo Eval. So on the left-hand side here, you'll be able to see that we actually took one of our customers that was doing their initial POCs around standing up generative AI. They were setting up this RAG pipeline to connect their own internal enterprise data to the model. And what you're seeing on the screen here is actually all the queries that they were receiving during beta testing of their RAG system. And what we were able to do is plug in Dynamo eval into the RAG pipeline and identify in red dots here those queries that actually resulted in hallucinations that were flagged by our system. And so this is really key as we talk to regulators. They want to have explainable ways of communicating to all three lines of defense within the enterprise where these residual risks of hallucinations, for example, might exist. And so what we did on top of this is you'll see we applied automated topic analysis on top of these clusters, and we're able to identify, in this case, a set of problematic queries around unauthorized credit card transactions in Latin America. The enterprise then took this actionable insight and was able to identify that they had actually conflicting policy documentation describing this particular topic in their RAG system. Another example case study is around guardrails. So a lot of enterprises have their own bespoke AI governance policies that they want to implement around their AI systems, but they need a solution that they can customize to actually automate the enforcement of these guardrails. And so, for example, on the right-hand side here, you'll see we actually had an enterprise that needed to enforce a very bespoke AI governance policy around making sure that their AI system wasn't able to speak about any sensitive client M&A activities. And they were able to customize Dynamo Guard in natural language to enforce this guardrail. Something that's super exciting is we actually are having an announcement jointly with a couple of our partners, including Microsoft, on an integration of Dynamo Guard with the Microsoft 365 AI Copilot suite, as well as in India is super excited about the ChatGPT enterprise integration as well. So you can layer these guardrails, customize them, have full observability around how your users are using those enterprise applications. The last thing I'll mention is that guardrailing and AI safety is a big open challenge today. You'll see here today, I encourage you to look at some competing solutions to Dynamo, actually. Llama Guard, an open source solution, and Azure AI Content Safety through Azure. Really what you see is that a lot of these guardrailing solutions let a lot of non-compliant activities slip through. Around 35 to 40% of these publicly reported vulnerabilities we tested these solutions against, and they were only able to detect around 30 to 45% of these. Whereas with Dynamo Guard, out of box, they're powered by our own line of ultra-lightweight foundation models that are not only twice as effective at detecting these non-compliant events, but also 10 times lower latency and less costly to actually serve. So we're super excited to talk to you after this event. Please visit our booth, and we'll have a discussion and demo. So thank you, everyone.
Hi, I'm Jerry Ledun from UBS. Oops. And I run advisor and service enablement, which is all the applications that go to the advisors, as well as all the workflows and operations. So really, it's the front and back office of WMA. So why am I here? I'm also a distinguished engineer, and I find it extremely exciting to be around the FinTech startups and the new idea generation, because it does say what's happening. And today, at 1285 at UBS, there is a generative AI conference with 250 applications being displayed. And my question is, how are they built and tested? When you talk about retrieval augmented generative models, can you recreate what's in production? They're non-deterministic, right? So what happens to the first hallucination or the wrong thing that a user sees? How do you deal with that? Well, I'm happy to introduce Last Mile, who is trying to tackle that problem. And I'm very excited about their solution, and also about the founder, Shamad Quadri, as well as Andrew Ho, who I've been working very closely with. So with no further ado, let me introduce Shamad Quadri.
Hey folks, thanks a lot for being here, and also thank you for supporting the FinTech Innovation Lab. I'm Sarmad, I'm the co-founder CEO of Last Mile AI. We enable software developers who are not ML experts to build and deploy generative AI applications. So there's a lot of hype around generative AI. There are a lot of AI startups in this cohort as well. And it's finally starting to show improvements in the bottom line of company earnings. So the most innovative companies are able to attribute over 10% of their earnings to generative AI adoption today. Unfortunately, less than 5% of companies are that successful. And our goal at Last Mile is to enable enterprises to become Gen AI high performers. So it's incredibly easy today to get started with a proof of concept and build an impressive demo. Generative AI models are now available with an API call, but it's incredibly difficult to get them ready for production. So many Gen AI projects get stuck in the proof of concept stage with a long tail of edge cases they have to deal with. Jerry mentioned hallucinations as one example. And they're also impossible to test and verify using traditional software developer practices. And so at Last Mile, we provide a scientific, process-based approach to Gen AI application development that lets you get to production 3 times faster. So we've seen this before as a team. We came from Meta's AI organization, where we were responsible for Meta's AI developer infrastructure. And so we're taking some of the learnings we had for building ML ops for ML engineers and taking that and applying it to Gen AI ops for software developers. The Last Mile platform encompasses the build, test, and deploy phases of Gen AI application development. And what makes us different is a set of opinionated products that we've built. The first one is AI config. We believe that prompts should be stored as configurations and not code so that they can be versioned, managed, and reused across an organization. Second is auto eval. We believe that AI should be used to test and validate AI systems. And as part of that, we have a suite of evaluator models that are able to cheaply and effectively validate AI application performance and give you a benchmark of performance metrics. And finally, we provide a set of tracing and observability tools to equip developers with the signals they need to be able to debug and root cause issues when things go wrong, as well as to gather the data they need for compliance workflows on the path to production. Crucially, what we want to help you do is build your own IP with generative AI and own the models and the data that let you do that. So as part of that, we allow you to train evaluator models that are fine-tuned for your own Gen AI applications, which provides unparalleled insights into application performance. And second, we are soon launching the ability to tune small language models, which allow you to optimize generative AI application performance and significantly reduce cost of serving traffic without compromising on the quality of the application. And most importantly, we do all this deploying within your cloud infrastructure and cloud VPCs so that you're able to have complete control over the compute as well as your own data. The Last Mile is a year and a half old. We were funded by Google's Gradient Ventures last year. We raised a $10 million seed round. We're just getting started. We have a very ambitious roadmap ahead of us, including fundamentally new ways of mitigating hallucinations from large language models. So if you're interested in that, or generally just how to productionize POCs, please come find me and my amazing co-founder Andrew at the booth afterwards. Thank you so much.
Just want to say that the entrepreneurs here are doing a great job. It's very exciting to be in the audience and listen to this. Thank you all for being here. My name is James Crossan. I'm a senior director at Aon. I'm happy to be here today to introduce Luke Moynihan from Boss Insights. The Boss Insights solution sounds very simple at first glance. It's centralizing access to accounting, payroll, tax, and many, many other types of financial data about a wide scale of businesses in many different countries. It sounds simple, but the ability to tackle this problem at scale for the dizzying variety of businesses and the systems where the data is scattered across today is an incredibly complex technical problem to solve. It is not as if other organizations in the space have not tried this. In fact, many of the traditional players in financial data management are household names like Microsoft, Oracle, and Intuit. And yet, with millions of small and medium-sized businesses worldwide, it's estimated that only a small fraction have publicly available financial data. And this makes it challenging to gain insight into their operations, their risk profiles, and market trends. And what that means is it makes it more challenging for these companies to access financial services that larger organizations are able to access. If you don't know Aon, we're a company focused on commercial risk management, including risk brokering. We help institutions secure coverage they need for their businesses, whether they are large multinationals or small startup companies. So it may come as no surprise that access to accurate and detailed financial data is core to securing appropriate coverage for our customers, and it's a critical component of how we do business. But many of the traditional ways that data is gathered by asking business owners to complete onerous insurance applications year after year, sometimes in multiple formats at the same time, over the phone, on pen and paper, through email, creates friction in the customer experience, gaps in data quality, and exposure to errors and omissions in insurance coverage. Reliable data ensures the ability to assess risk, provide more effective coverage options, and deliver exceptional customer experience. This ensures that we can match the best insurance product for the business. Boss Insights aims to simplify that access to financial data. Aon is just one type of company that could benefit from being able to make use of this technology to provide better financial services. I don't want you to think of Boss Insights as a company that could help the insurance industry, and I don't want you to think of it as a company that can help large-scale players like Aon, even if it can. I think the right way to view Boss Insights is that they have a technical solution that helps small and medium-sized businesses grow by giving them the ability to have access to financial services that up to this point only large companies have been able to access. Boss Insights' mission is to simplify access to financial data by providing a single and comprehensive view of companies at broad scale. During the FinTech Innovation Lab, we evaluated how well we could analyze Boss Insights data, apply it to our insurance application process, and the results were positive. The Boss Insights team, led by Karen and Luke, who's here today, asked great questions, took the time to learn about commercial risk, and engaged in a productive mentorship. So it's great to finally meet Luke in person for the first time today, and we're happy to have you here, and your expertise and insights will provide valuable takeaways for all of us. Welcome.
Thank you, James. You're hired. My name is Luke. I'm a co-founder at Boss Insights, where it's our vision to help more small businesses succeed. Today, we do that by partnering with financial institutions that need to better understand their business clients so that they can provide the tools and services that those small businesses need to grow. There's over 33 million small businesses, and that number is increasing every year. And whether they're applying for insurance, loans, or other financial services, it's extremely difficult to access their financial information in order to evaluate them. And when you finally get the data, it's in different formats, it's a bit of a mess. So we've solved that problem. We have a software platform that takes small business data, categorizes it and standardizes it, whether it's PDF financial statements, bank transactions, tax transcripts, or other financial documents, puts it into a common data model, and then we introduce it into our insights processor, where it can tease out opportunities and risks for that small business, as well as for you. Now, this is net new client data that you've not had before. We sell this platform to innovative insurers, banks, credit unions, and other financial service providers for use cases such as origination, health and cash flow insights, financial management, benchmarking, and risk monitoring. And our clients have been thrilled with the results, because when you automate the drudgery of gathering the data, standardizing it, running calculations automatically, it enables financial institutions to focus on building client relationships. And it helps that you get some internal efficiencies, like we've had 25-person teams able to reallocate half of their members to higher value tasks. Now, you might be asking yourself, will my business clients really provide this financial information? It's actually the #1 question we get asked, and it's where we stand apart. Today, if you want financial information from your small business client, you might ask them to email it. But of course, that's insecure, and when you get it, the quality is a little bit questionable. So you'll go out to a third-party provider, like a Dun & Bradstreet, where the data will be structured, but it's limited and somewhat historical. Or you'll spend the time with your programming team to integrate with an API aggregator like Merge. Now, you'll get clear real-time data, but what are you going to do with all of your small business clients that aren't using tools that can share data via API? You'll usually find that that's more than half of your customers. Our platform enables you broad compatibility with different data sources that small businesses provide, and our quality assurance algorithms ensure that you get data you can trust. Where we also stand apart is we have core integrations, CRM integrations, that get you up and running within weeks. This means that you can put all of the data and insights that we've gathered into the tools that your team already uses daily, like Salesforce or HubSpot. This, of course, shortens your time to ROI. We have an experienced management team with decades of experience in commercial insurance, wealth management, and commercial banking, as well as big data and AI. We also have supportive backers who are experts in their field, and they're helping us achieve our vision. So if you're curious to learn more about our insights, drop by our booth. We'd be happy to set you up with a pilot kit so that you can learn how to serve small business clients at scale. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sharon Singer, and I work at a company called TIAA in the team that's building TIA's retirement, wealth management, marketing, digital, and client technology. So a quick word on TIA. TIA is a Fortune 500. It's a not-for-profit. It's a mission-driven company, and it was founded in 1918 by Andrew Carnegie, who was shocked by the low salaries in academia and the poverty which college professors experienced when they retired. Now, there's a reason I'm mentioning this. We provide financial and retirement services to clients in the academic, research, medical, cultural, and government fields. And our mission has widened into fighting retirement inequality for all Americans. Now, I say this because Addition Wealth is a much younger company than TIA, but it's propelled by the same sense of mission. It was founded in 2021 on the fundamental belief, and I'm going to quote Addition Wealth on this, that every single person, regardless of how much money they have or how much money they make, should have access to the tools and resources they need to make smart financial decisions. Addition Wealth is combining access to financial professionals with digital tools, resources, and content that is custom designed to their clients' needs. Before I welcome Anna onto the stage, what I would like to share is actually the very great pleasure we had at TIA in working with Anna and with Amy Chu, the Addition's VP of Product and Operations, who's also here today. They met with our CIO, our tech and product heads in digital device channels and wealth management, with our data and AI heads. All of these people with decades and decades of industry experience under their belts. And they blew everyone away with the sophistication of their knowledge, their understanding of markets, and what they have built in such a short period of time. So I want to sort of riff on this report card theme that we had in the last introduction. I'm going to give the last word to our head of wealth tech when he addressed Anna and Amy at the end of a 2-hour demo session in our office with 12 SMEs on the call, which was quite a lot to take in, I think. And he hit it on the head when he said, Anna and Amy, you are truly amazing entrepreneurs. It's clear that you are going to succeed in whatever it was you decided to do and build. And we're just thrilled that you decided to dedicate yourself to such a great cause as financial wellness. So without further ado, I'm extremely proud to introduce Anna Mahoney of Addition Wealth.
Thank you, Sharon. We're the last presentation, so thank you all for being here today. We're super grateful to be here on stage. I am here on behalf of a fabulous team that we have at Addition Wealth. On the board are some of our leaders, but there's a big team behind us that are extremely capable, hardworking, mission-driven, and diverse. And what we do is we help solve the problem that the vast majority of individuals today are stressed about their finances. People are working at multiple jobs in their lifetimes. They increasingly have more options for where to put their finances if they're lucky enough to have them. And they're stressed about what to do. Traditional models still typically focus on people who have at least $1 million of assets at one specific institution. And so as a result, you find that the vast majority of American families are both underserviced and making suboptimal financial decisions. So what we do at Addition Wealth is we build financial wellness platforms that help bring personalized financial expertise to the masses. We have a two-pronged approach to distribution. The first is companies pay Addition Wealth, and we serve their employees as a financial wellness benefit. You can see a number of our clients on the board today. The reason that they do this is so that they're able to help their employees be less financially stressed, which can increase productivity at their company. It helps them attract and retain fantastic talent. And then we also spend a lot of time helping those individuals understand all the ways in which their employees are paying them, explaining things like complex benefits that companies spend a lot of money and resources and time to provide to their employees. Because we have a scalable approach to helping individuals work through their financial decisions, we do partner today with financial institutions, large ones, some of which we're super excited to partner with through this program, that either distribute or white label our technology and then offer it to their clients. So we partner with top 10 institutions of their type, asset managers, insurance players, and then we also partner with modern retirement players that are FinTech unicorns. We take a hybrid digital and human approach to helping people work through their financial decisions so that they understand what they're doing, work through the decisions that are top of mind for them, and then are able to take actions within a digital experience as well. We take a holistic approach to financial wellness, and we tend to touch end users in three ways. The first is we create a hyper-personalized user experience where we can make adjustments and configurations for the enterprise that we're working with, a company that then onboards their employees into the platform where we can pull in their company-specific information, and then we can lead assess the individual who comes into the platform so that we can put relevant information available to them in their specific experience. We run webinars and community sessions where individuals can go deep on topics that are important to them, and then we can also connect people with financial advisors. When we partner with enterprises, we can have a very seamless end consumer digital experience to connect with an advisor, but on the back end, we work with enterprises to understand how we should help influence the lead matching. It can be by geography, by wealth connection, by the type of topic or expertise that an individual may need to connect with. And we find that this is a very useful way of helping put two people in touch that's much more effective than traditional manners. On the Addition Wealth side, we're very proud of the statistics that we've been able to achieve. On average, we have 70% of employees engage with our offering, and we have very high satisfaction scores as well. Part of the reason that we're able to do this is because through each corporate relationship, we can learn basic things about an individual's finances. Are they getting paid a specific type of retirement benefit? Do they have an FSA or an HSA? And we can layer on top of that specific type of information knowledge of times in the year when something might be important to them, be that when they are making a benefit decision or when they might get a bonus or an inflation-based increase. And through then, we can be very specific in our targeting to help people then take actions in those specific moments for things that are important for them. So you can think about Addition Wealth as the rails of a holistic experience where we can pull in access to human, both payroll and personal financial data. We can input end user specific endpoint solutions so that individuals can take action on them, and then we can configure specific user journeys to help influence certain outcomes. That's what I wanted to share today. Thank you for taking the time. And then on behalf of the, on behalf of the entrepreneurs, since I'm the last presenter, we wanted to say thank you to Maria, thank you to Accenture and Morgan Stanley for having us, and thank you for all of the fantastic chaperones that we had who truly made a huge difference for all of us. We're super grateful that you put together this program, and just thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Murtaza, and it's my honor to lead the FinTech Innovation Lab. It has been such an incredible journey facilitating the collaboration between the financial institutions, VCs, EIRs, and the startups. A huge congratulations to our 2024 cohort. They represent 3% of the applicants, and as you heard, they've completed the 12-week program, spending more than 500 hours with their mentors and entering discussions around more than 25 proof of concepts. I want to extend a heartfelt congratulations and also a big thank you to everybody that has made this possible. The EARs, the VCs, financial institutions, Partnership Fund for New York City, Accenture leadership, the FinTech Innovation Lab core team, Katie and Luke, who have poured in countless hours during these 12 weeks, and the remarkable Morgan Stanley tech and logistics team that has worked with us over the last month to make today possible. I want to leave you with 3 ways to continue engaging with the Innovation Lab. Firstly, we are happy to extend and expand our ecosystem. Starting 14 years ago with 10 financial services institutions, today we are over 40 plus. So please reach out to explore how we can collaborate. Secondly, we are accepting nominations for 2025, and your referrals are invaluable. They make the best of the startups, so please send them our way. And lastly, we have a thrilling and thriving network of 300 plus entrepreneurs and startup alumni between the New York, London, and Hong Kong chapter. We are happy to facilitate connections, have bespoke demo days, and collaborate with our clients in different capacities. So please reach out for that. As we wrap up, I'd like to invite you to continue the conversation in the demo room across the hall. And for our virtual audience, please use the demo day landing page to leverage the interactive component, request one-on-one meetings, and download further content on the startups. And let's end with a big round of applause for everyone who made today possible.